Switch pixie. So I don't do this like the Arabs or Turks. They use this thing called a risha. It's a long, kind of thin, almost looks like an emery board. I can't do it. Just can't do it. Too late in the day. So I use a real thick guitar pick. Whereas this is the oud. A lot of you know what it is, but maybe some of you don't. One of the oldest instruments in the world. Not this one, okay. This is an Armenian oud, and I got it from my friend Rose, who's sitting over here, and Rose is a great belly dancer, and we used to do gigs together some years ago. I didn't have an oud then, unfortunately. I wish I would have. But I kind of faked Middle Eastern stuff in my guitar, and she and the other girls would dance to it, and it was a lot of fun. So she sold me this a few years ago. I used to go to her house and just drool over it, and finally she sold it to me, and thank you, Rose. So this one's made, it's an Armenian oud made in LA, a guy named Nigerian, and it's a beautiful oud. It's a 7-string, they're usually 6. So, like I said, the blues goes way back. Way, way, way back. So my original plan was to do this, and then a fretless piece, and then have Steve come up last to kind of do it in order. So, a lot of oud music, one person, there's no chords in Arabic music, you know, traditional Arabic and Turkish music, very modal. So when you hear Howlin' Wolf doing stuff like Backdoor Man and, you know, Train, come on, Smokestack Lightning, just this one chord thing over and over, that's very, very Middle Eastern. That's much more Middle Eastern than it is like European music. So there's some kind of connection there. I don't know if any slaves ever brought oud over. I don't think they did, because most of the slaves came from West Africa. The oud is Middle East and North Africa. But I think there's a connection between the oud and blues. And I read an article a few years ago by a lady that said maybe 30% of slaves were Muslim, so they brought their prayer calls, which are very modal too. So there's a big connection. So what I'm going to do, oh yeah, I just remembered. Boy, we're in tune, right? So I'm going to start out with a bit of childhood verse. It's the name of my last album, Hide and Seek. I was a kid in St. Louis in the slums in the 50s, and we used to play hide and seek in the street at night. And we'd sing this little ditty. And it's kind of interesting. So I'm going to sing that for you to get started. And then I'm going to do an oud improv I wrote. It's not exactly an improv. I got a lot of things I do, but I also leave room open for improv, called Oud 13. And at the end of that, I'm going to work in the melody of Hide and Seek, too, because I think they belong together. Let's see. Last night, night before, 24 robbers at my door. I got up, let them in, hit them on the head with the rolling pin. All hit. Last night, night before, 24 robbers at my door. I got up, let them in, hit them on the head with the rolling pin. All hit. And if everybody wasn't hit, you'd sing it again. Last night, night before, 24 robbers at my door. I got up, let them in, hit them on the head with the rolling pin. All hit. I'm going to move this if you don't mind. There we go. Thank you.